a generation or two, there was really no economy in the way that we think about it. When we think of an economy, we think about jobs, where somebody gets up every day and goes to a job and they get paid for that job. That just didn't exist a generation or two ago.
We walked to the village, which was easier then, and somebody wanted some water or something to eat. There was no little store. There was nothing for people like us who had money in our pockets to leave in the village.
There would be 2 classrooms and 1 teacher, and she'd work with the kids in this classroom, then lock the door and go into the other classroom and work with those kids and then lock the door. And in the meantime, the kids in this classroom would just go crazy because there was nobody in there supervising them. And so first grade had a lot of kids and not enough teachers, no resources, no books. And as we looked at in the other classrooms, we got up to 6th grade, and the 6th grade was 3 kids, and they were in a closet with no windows and 3 desks, and that was how many kids made it to 6th grade, and that was in 1998.
Mi madre, ella no tiene ningún grado académico, ella no estudió. Por lo mismo en Santa Cruz, antes los padres pensaban que no era necesario ir a la escuela.
My mom, she went to school just 2 years. My mother did not go to school. De mi papá solo pudo estudiar 3 años. Él también tenía que trabajar, pescar.
This village was very remote, still is very remote and isolated, and the only work that was available was like going out and raising your own fruits and vegetables, raising some chickens, going fishing in the lake, and a good portion of their job, everyone talks about the collecting of the firewood, because people don't cook with gas or electricity here. They build a fire, and so they have to go collect their firewood each day.
When Amigos started working in these communities 19 years ago, remember that Santa Cruz is a community only accessible by boat. And at that time, there were very few motorized boats going back and forth, and so access in and out of the community was very difficult.
So before Amigos de Santa Cruz came, no one had graduated beyond the 6th grade in the village. Virtually no one.
In the beginning, there were 6 kids in the 6th grade the year I came. That was it. There was no middle school. Anybody who could scratch her or his way past 6th grade into 7th would take the boat over to Pana. It was a very difficult time for children. They weren't in school much.
The custom in my village is to give the boys better opportunities for education. Many of the women, they don't believe in themselves. Normally in my village, the women don't have a dream. Someone told me that if I want to change my life, I need to have a better education.
Now, with the help of Amigos, not only does education go through the end of middle school here in Santa Cruz, but many students are leaving the community to continue their education in high school and even now into university.
In all my life, Amigos de Santa Cruz helped me and support me in my education. With the help Amigos de Santa Cruz, I graduate high school. I was the first in my family who graduate, and now we have 5 or 6 people in my family who graduate. Now I am first woman graduate in the university in Santa Cruz La Laguna, because through Amigos helped me and with scholarship. This last year we had 20 new scholarship students, and most of them it's girls. And that is something really good.
Well, as Amigos de Santa Cruz, we've been working in the communities of Santa Cruz La Laguna for the past 19 years. And we work in generally 2 program areas. One is youth and education, and the other is economic empowerment. So youth and education includes support for scholarships, materials, and early education programs. It also includes sex education in all of the public schools in Santa Cruz, and youth empowerment and youth leadership programs, training the next generation of community leaders. On the economic empowerment side, we have CCAP, which is the Centro de Capacitación, a vocational training center here in Santa Cruz.
And the idea with the vocational training center is to give the kids real-world skills that they can use to get jobs. School doesn't always give you the skills that you can use to go to work in the world, such as carpentry, cooking, sewing, welding, things like that. We had programs to teach certain people to be barbers. There was no barber shop in Santa Cruz, so everybody had to leave to go to Panachel to get their hair cut. There were no welders. Anybody wanted any welding work, they had to find that source somewhere else. There were any number of services that the village needed, and we've done training programs to train the people, and then the next step is to help them go into business for themselves so they can be entrepreneurs and they can help create that economy within their graduates so that there's a good thriving economy in this village. So now we have a barber shop, now we have a welding shop, now we have a baker, we have all these things that we didn't have before.
And then we also work in women's empowerment and helping women to, in some of our more remote communities, to gain an education as well as to start small businesses or business initiatives that can help bring in an income for themselves and for their families.
Training center, we have women who never got money before from something what they do, and now they get and they believe in themselves that they are doing a good thing.
I work with Amigos and 5 years ago. I am co-director for CCAP.
4 years ago, I started in the culinary programs. Amigos de Santa Cruz helped me. I am a teacher, a cooking class. I feel I'm grateful.
I think, in my opinion, one of the things that makes Amigos really special is the way that we've been working in this community for so long. Amigos is really invested in generational change. Some of those first little kids that were receiving school supplies 19 years ago are now working professionals on our staff. And they're the ones who are getting their university degree for the first time in Santa Cruz. And that's something pretty special. And now we have a generation that's educated for the first time here in Santa Cruz. And what that means, that leadership within the organization is going to come from the community.
Before, when I am 11 years old, my dream is I am married and have kids, and I clean one house, I don't know. But before my education in high school, I changed my ideas and I have more dreams.
Well, I have a lot of dreams. I want to be a chef.
My dream is in the future I am first mayor woman.
And now I'm at university, and next year I will finish my big tests, and hopefully I can be a lawyer.
Mi sueño es trabajar como seguridad web.
When you want, it's possible.
The vision that we see for Amigos de Santa Cruz in the future is to continue the programs. We want to provide a good education for any of the people in our population base that wants it, and that keeps our hands full just getting the kids educated.
So one of the goals that Amigos runs through all of our programs is sustainability. We don't want to rely just on donor funding. We also have 2 social enterprise businesses that are attached to our vocational training center. We have a store where we sell products made by the artisans that come up through our classes, and the purchases made in that store go directly back to support those artisans and some of the costs of the training programs. In addition, we have a cafe with rooftop with a beautiful view, a great place to come visit, and the profits from that cafe as well go directly back into funding those programs. We're moving towards sustainability in both our cafe and our store so that they can pay for themselves, provide work for the community, and invest more income back into the classes that we offer. In addition, I think that really what Amigos has done over the years is sow the seeds of empowerment in the community that will continue and is continuing well beyond our direct support. For example, we have an early education program in which parental involvement is required. And the mothers I've seen over these last few years have become more and more emboldened to speak up and speak out on behalf of their children for a better education. It's no longer Amigos staff or directors or coordinators that are in front of those efforts in the municipality or in the Ministry of Education, but it's the mothers themselves. That's amazing to see, and that's the future of Santa Cruz.
Amigos de Santa Cruz, pienso es ahorita ya parte de cada familia en Santa Cruz, es muy importante en la vida de las familias, incluso en la mía es muy importante.
Please support our next generation and give the opportunity to them like I got in my life, because people like you who believe in women can change the life.
My life is better because people like you support me in my education.
My future is better
Because of donors like you.
Thank you for all.